My name is Steve Cohen. I am known as the Millionaire's Magician. I live and work here at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel here in New York City. I decided several years back to create a magic show which is reminiscent of the parlor performances that were very popular in Western Europe in the 1800s. I've always been fascinated by two performers. One of them was Hofzinser in Vienna, and also Robert Houdin, who is, as we well know, the father of modern conjuring in Paris. And I always thought that the style of performing was very genteel, that they presented, and also it was something that was presented for the upper class. Parlor performance has such an intimacy and all a genuine feel to the audience and to the performer that I thought that the interplay between the audience and the magician was best suited to that style in the parlor. When I choose the material for my show, I think in chunks of 8 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes. In the course of 90 minutes in my performance, I only do about 11 or 12 routines. In the course of an 8-minute routine, the effect has to be clear. It can't be a convoluted 8 minutes. So if people were to walk away, they could describe each of the individual routines to their friends around the water cooler the next day at work and say, I saw this guy who linked together my wedding ring with someone else's, or someone who poured a drink that I called for from a tea kettle, or someone who was able to read my mind. The words that they use to describe it are easily understood by other people. I think that someone who is a great magician is someone who can feel the magic at the same time that the audience is feeling it. If you feel that you're almighty and all-powerful and you're saying, I'm so wonderful, look at what I can do, and you can't catch me, that's counter to being a great magician. That's a power play. But if you can feel the magic when your audience is feeling it, and it's almost like a simpatico. They're getting excited, and you're getting excited at the same time, and when the surprise happens, you act surprised also, like you can't believe it. I think that combination of the audience feeling it at the same time as you is what helps the magic actually kind of grow and balloon up in the audience's heart. One of my all-time favorite books is a book by Edwin Sachs, The Sleight of Hand. It's very difficult as a modern performer to open this book up and say that there's great secrets in here because there's no illustrations. And sometimes the best secrets are in those books that have no illustrations. And also the language is very stilted and old, and when you read it you say, oh, I can't imagine. I found a lot of material for my current show in the book Sleight of Hand by Sachs. And you have to really dig for it. But when you dig, you're finding material that other people and other magicians aren't doing. And if you combine some of the modern sleights and modern technology that we have available today, you can actually take some of the old plots that were fascinating to people 150 years ago and make them workable and really new for a modern audience. Really examine your material and make sure that the material that you've picked, the material that you perform, matches who you are. Because there's nothing as unsettling as watching someone who doesn't really match the material that they're performing. I can't do certain tricks. There's certain magic tricks I would love to perform, but they just don't fit my character. There's jokes or gags that I'd love to perform and say, but I can't do them because they don't fit my character. There's a lot of times where Mark and I talk, my colleague and I, we talk about the Millionaire's Magician as a third person. Almost will say, well, the Millionaire's Magician wouldn't perform that, or the Millionaire's Magician wouldn't say that, because it doesn't fit the image of the character that we've created. And that brings me to another point. I think it's great to have a collaborator. My collaborator is Mark Levy, who's a magician, but he's also a really brilliant storyteller. And so what we do is we work very closely together from two different angles. I have a lot of technique. I love all the diagonal palm shifts and the sleight of hand techniques I really am passionate about. And Mark is passionate about magic and storytelling. So when I work with my collaborator, I'm able to bring my expertise, he brings his expertise, and they're obviously from different areas, and it helps to create a more well-rounded whole. I want to address the idea of how to make a living being a magician. You have to, number one, have a magnificent product. You have to have something that people, the public, wants to see. And you also have to figure out a way to do it repeatedly, over and over again. But also you need to give it time. People expect, okay, Steve Cohen made $1 million and, just right off the bat. That's not true. I started off with a show which I was begging my friends to attend and begging them to beg their friends to attend. And for about 2 years, I lost an immense amount of money trying to put together my chamber magic show. But I had a vision, I knew exactly how I envisioned the show. I wanted to recreate Hofzinser's salon. I wanted to recreate Robert Houdin's parlor performances from the 1800s in modern society. And I figured if I put enough effort and I bite my tongue and say, okay, even if I'm losing money, I'm still going to continue on with this because I believe in my concept, I believe in myself. I was over the course of 10 years able to finally make my vision come true. So, of course, you have to have something great to sell, but you also have to have patience, and you must also believe in your concept and believe in your dream. And if you can do both of those, all three of those, I think you can make a great career in magic as well.